Hello and welcome to our presentation for project management. We're going to be talking about our app, Kori Ice-Breaker. We are Carlos, Irene, Miguel, Bahaeddin, and Magnus. The presentation will be going through all of these. We'll be talking about our justification, scope, our business objective, our constraints, schedule, our expected budget, resource plan, risk management, and our stakeholder management. So for our justification, Kori is a social media platform that aims to push people to break down barriers and create real-life solutions for real interactions. Kori Icebreaker is aiming to address all the growing challenges of isolation that currently Asian countries have, most especially in Japan, Korea, and China. And we're trying to enhance all of these by introducing a social media app that is entertaining, engaging, and also appealing for the market. As for our scope, I will be talking about our purpose, our description, where we are located, our deliverables, our functions, and also a little bit about what our project exclusions are. So for our purpose, as I was talking to you earlier before, we are trying to develop and deploy an app that is going to be able to enhance real communication and create meaningful ones. We don't want this to be another social media app where people are just interacting with the same old chat. We want to make a introduction of more engaging things, such as games, stickers, and also some lobbies that we'll be discussing later. For the project description, again, it's a social app that is going to be engaging for all the market. Our headquarters will be located in Ireland, and we will be having a subsidiary to go inside all these countries. As I said earlier before, the countries we will be coming, it will be Japan, China, and South Korea. As for our features and functionalities, Kori will have user profiles just as any other social media that will allow them to create and also show their interests so that interaction can be easier and in accordance to what they want. Also, we will have a chat system where we have features just like pictures, stickers, links, and games. We would have just adding up a little bit to the previous one, interactive games. As I was telling you, we're trying to bring this into place because we think it's a perfect way to engage our public and to break the ice with them. And also our partnership with small businesses in cities. These businesses present partnerships are aimed in order for us to help them enhance the number of people that are coming to their locals, and also they will be helping us by setting a platform that is going to be secure for our clients to go. As for our deliverables, we recognize the following. We'll be needing app design documents, will be detailed documents that cover the user interface, the user experience, and also how the game design will work. We'd have a working app prototype, which will function as initial version of the app to check for mistakes and for improvements. Then after this version, we'd have a beta version that will be a little bit more complete, more feature complete. And then we will be releasing our final app version. After our app is launched in the market, all our efforts are going to be going towards the marketing of this for appropriate market penetration and to the post-launch support plan, which basically means just maintaining the app and keeping it functional.
All right, moving on to the business objectives, we have broken them down into 3 adjustable bites. For the first objective, we aim to establish a customer base because this type of applications, we provide a platform for the people to use, but they are mainly run by the people that use them. It is imperative to have a solid user base for the application to properly function. Moving on to the second objective, we need to build and nurture a community of users. Of course, such application, we need its users to perform the functions that were intended for it and to perform them correctly. Which brings us to the third objective, is that we need to secure partnerships with at least 50 city cafes within the first year. Now, to give more context on this, the way the application will work is that we can host lobbies in certain public spaces and cafes where other users can interact with each other, and it can facilitate the way that to break the ice and people meet each other. Next one, please. But however, with these objectives, it is natural for us to encounter some constraints. The first of all would be the budget cap. The budget is estimated for the startup of this project is $500,000. Now, of course, it is anyone's dream to have an unlimited budget and we can spend it all on marketing whatsoever. But having a limited budget um, not only makes it important for us to allocate these resources correctly, but also provides some sort of limitations to the features and the campaigns that we will dedicate for the application. And with the budget constraints, of course, hand in hand come the time constraints, development times, as well as the project timeline itself. We have deemed worthy 1 year for the project, from the initiation phase to the live phase. So this also puts a constraint on developing it correctly and nurturing the application. Then we move on to the more technical stuff, the operational constraints. And in the operational constraints, we are mainly, since this application depends a lot on public spaces and third parties, having the approval and establishing a connection with these places can also prove to be challenging depending on the culture and the places that we find. Not every place is always open to work with a new project. Some people always ask for a more reputable organization or an application with history. Lastly, we move on to the technological or the technology constraints. And as for the technological constraints, they mainly on the back-end developing side of the application, when it comes to properly developing an application and making sure no bugs are being discovered by the users, the data is safe, safe from cybersecurity, quantum computing being introduced, and whatnot. Thank you.
So for our schedule, we've divided the first year into 4 quarters. By the end of the first quarter, we hope to have a full outline of both our project as well as detailed designs for the app and all of its functions. In the second quarter, we'll be working on creating user interface design, as well as implementing basic functions and developing the games. Eventually, after this quarter, we'll have a first working prototype. The third quarter is for testing and refinement of this prototype, moving through a beta phase and implementing any bug fixes we make based on the information. At the end, we hope to have a successful beta phase or version of our app, as well as both positive and actionable data, giving us more info on how it's improved. The final quarter is where we hope to launch the app. This is where we make any final adjustments before and then deploy on both Android and iOS. This is followed by post-launch monitoring and implementation of any patches we require. Next slide, please. So our budget is divided into startup costs and our first year of operation. Our startup costs are roughly $500,000. That's split between software design, $300,000, marketing and promotion, $100,000, and operational fund cost and contingency fund, which is also $50,000 each. This estimate includes salaries, the purchase of equipment, testing of infrastructure, and it also covers considerable marketing costs through the launch event, as well as later into the future. For our first year of operations, we anticipate roughly $300,000 worth of costs. This is giving half to our server maintenance costs, $100,000 to development of the app itself, and another $50,000 to contingency fund. Thank you.
So regarding our resource plan, we have divided it into human resources and technical resources. For the human resources, our project manager is going to oversee the project's progress, manages risks, and ensures stakeholder communication. He's engaged full-time. Then we find the development team. This consists of software developers, UI and UX designers, and as well as QA testers. It focuses on the app's development, design, and testing, with varying full-time efforts depending on the phase that we're working on. Then as we approach the launch, the involvement of our marketing and community outreach team is going to intensify. It's crucial for building momentum and user anticipation. And finally, for the human resources, we find the technical support team, who is going to manage the server infrastructure and post-launch support, scaling from part-time to full-time. And then we find our technical resources, which include licensed software development platforms and testing tools managed by the project manager. a service for app hosting and mobile devices for testing, which is going to be managed by the technical support team, all within a workspace which is going to be overseen by the project manager. So this integration of skilled human resources and with this technical infrastructure is going to ensure a well-equipped to achieve our project goals effectively. Then for risk management, we've identified key risks, including development delays, lower than expected user adoption, and data privacy concerns. Our mitigation strategies are tailored to address these effectively. So we're using agile practices to minimize development setbacks. We're also going to conduct early marketing and beta tests to enhance user engagement, and also consulting with data security experts for compliance and regular security audits. We believe that these proactive measures are going to be essential to navigate potential challenges and ensure the project success.
So now let's delve into the 5 key stakeholders vital to the success of our project. Customers as end users hold significant power, and their satisfaction is paramount. We'll connect with them through our app, Kori, and social media, prioritizing quality and innovation to ensure their loyalty. As for investors, they wield considerable influence and will engage them via Kori International Communications, focusing on establishing a consistent revenue stream to secure their support. Next, we have the regulation makers. They hold sway over our project's compliance and will proactively engage them through official channels, outlining the benefits to gain their approval. Second to last, business owners. Though lower in power, they're crucial for integration and will attract them through Kori and social media, emphasizing user attraction. Finally, competitors. While having less power, they are essential to monitor for market competitiveness and will engage them via social media to outcompete by innovating and maintaining market leadership. These stakeholders represent a diverse range of interests and influences, and it's essential that we engage with each of them strategically to maximize project success. The next one, please. So as for procurement management plan, we outline how we will require the necessary resources and services for project execution. So firstly, we'll identify our procurement needs, prioritizing resources that align with the expectations and preferences of our high-power stakeholders, such as customers, investors, and regulation makers. And next, we'll select vendors using various procurement methods. So we're going to ensure transparency and competitiveness while meeting these regulatory requirements. And once vendors are selected, we'll focus on contract management, establishing clear terms, conditions, and deliverables to meet the expectations of our stakeholders. Additionally, we'll prioritize vendor management to ensure strong relationships and address any concerns that may arise. And finally, we'll close monitor and control our budget, aligning spending with stakeholder priorities and project objectives. By following this procurement management plan, what we aim is to effectively allocate the resources, like Carlos said, and ensure project success while meeting the needs and expectations of our high-power stakeholders. So thank you very much for listening. Sylvain, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us without any hesitation.
And cut. We just like that. We cut the video.